Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Sibley School, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you, friends, colleagues, parents, and of course our graduates, to the 2014 commencement ceremony for the Sibley School of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. My name is Mark Campbell, and I'm the director of the Sibley School. The class of 2014 has 248 graduating students, joining a long and proud tradition, that of becoming alumni of the Sibley School. When Cornell was founded in 1865, our school originated as the Mechanic Arts. Shortly thereafter, with Sibley's support, the school was expanded into the Sibley School of Mechanical Engineering and Mechanic Arts. And since then, the Sibley School has graduated over 12,000 students. Today, the Sibley School is the center of the largest undergraduate major in the College of Engineering, the leader of many of our exciting project teams, and the home of 3 graduate degree programs at the master's and PhD levels. For many of you, the journey has been interesting, fun, exciting, stressful, and as some of you may say, perhaps even a bit torturous. 35 students have slothed their way through Q exams, A exams, B exams, courses, research, and demands placed on you by your special committee, where, quote, special sometimes implies creative licensing by the faculty. 62 Masters of Engineering students have taken a full course load in a 2-semester project that many faculty treat as a PhD thesis. And of course, our 151 undergraduate students. The Sibley School has perhaps the most challenging, hands-on, and theoretical undergraduate curriculum in engineering. In addition to traditional courses, many of you took part in one of our project teams. When I came to Cornell 13 years ago, we had 3 to 4 project teams with roughly 80 students, including Formula SAE, RoboCup, several satellite teams that I was privileged to advise. But this year, we have 18 project teams and over 800 students took part, including Cornell's Sustainable Design and Engineering World Health. These project teams, while giving some of us faculty a few gray hairs, provide a wonderful outlet for synthesizing what students learn in ways that students in industry really appreciate. In addition, they give you all an opportunity to shine as the leaders you are. This year, CUSAT successfully launched their satellite and were able to maintain contact with the ground station. Engineers Without Borders will be on their way to Bolivia for the first phase of their design project in May. Many of our teams are heading to competitions this summer or next year, including Mars Rover, CU Air, CU AUV. CU Air is vying for its 2nd straight first place finish, and CU AUV is vying for its 4th straight. We wish them all good luck and hope they enjoy the ride. In addition to the student project teams, our undergraduate students continue to show the many ways that they become leaders, both technically and in the community. This year, the Cornell chapter of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, or the AIAA, was awarded the College of Engineering Alumni Association Student Group Organization Award. This is given to a standout student organization for outstanding service to the college and the community, including increasing student participation. The AIAA also hosted the student conference in our region for the first time in recent memory. It's worth noting that our other student chapter, ASME, won this same award last year. This year is extra special for me in particular because most of my undergraduate advisees are graduating. For 12 of the graduates, I met them on the first day and will shake their hands on the last. The advisor-advisee relationship can be wonderfully fulfilling for both faculty and students. To explain it to the families, we have to start with the freshman year and the 1050 seminar course, introducing students to Cornell. This is where the seeds of this deep advisor-advisee relationship are planted. The typical scenario would be a student coming to me in the first week and asking, Professor Campbell, when can I take CS 2110? And after a pause and a quizzical look, my response is usually, let's look that up together, or please go see engineering advising. The process repeats on a fairly regular basis until sometime in the sophomore year when the students affiliate with specific programs such as mechanical. A typical scenario at this point will be students coming to me and asking, Professor Campbell, what are the requirements for the technical elective? And after a pause and a quizzical look, my response is typically, please go see Nanette. But the faculty can and do give advice, and this really starts to take shape in the junior and senior years. I will refrain from discussing advisor-approved electives because we all want to get out of here on time. It is easiest for me to talk about this period with an example from one of my students. In order to protect confidentiality, I have to use a different name. The name I'm going to use is Famed. Famed has been working in my robotics lab for about 3 years. In the fall, he came to me and said, Professor Campbell, I have 2 job options. You have to tell me which one to take. Finally, I thought, after 3.5 years, a question I can actually help with. Knowing Famed and the job options, the 2 were a startup company and a large aerospace company, I knew exactly which job he should take. But putting my advanced but underutilized advising skills to work, I was certainly not going to tell Famed which job to take. So we spoke for about 2 hours, winding through many, many issues. And in the end, he decided, and soon thereafter accepted, a job with a startup company. I left work that day feeling pretty proud of myself. I finally made a difference in one of my advisees' lives. Then in early January, Famed set up another meeting with me. I was a little bit concerned, but he reassured me that he had accepted the position with a startup and was simply wanted me to choose which of our lab projects he would do in his final semester. We again had a 2-hour meeting, eventually settled on a nice project for all, making one of our robots give a campus tour. It was the ultimate culmination of the work that Famed did over the years, the work from our lab, and of course some nice PR. Famed was set and happy, and I was happy also, not only with the project, but again with my advising skills, which were clearly maturing. About 3 weeks later, at my first lab meeting in January of this year, we met with all the students to go over the projects. Unfortunately, Famed was not there. When I asked where he was, I was told Famed decided he didn't want to do the project that semester after all. Then another student chimed in, I think he's in the process of switching his job from the startup company to an aerospace company. Yes, parents, they don't listen to us either. And really, that is okay. In addition to Famed, looking to the future, our graduating class of 248 students will now be moving on to new exciting places. Roughly 1/3 of the undergraduates will be going on to graduate school and 2/3 to industry. Some of you are heading to large companies such as Lockheed, GE, Shell, Sensata, Facebook, Schlumberger, and Moog, a New York State-led company led by one of our dear alums, Dick Albrecht. Some of you are going to startups such as Social Bicycles. Some of you are going into the Army or Marines. Rumor has it that one person is also going to build and market an Iron Man suit, which would be pretty cool. My son would love that. And as we've had the last few years, a number of you are heading to SpaceX, a company that's revolutionizing access to space, which is near and dear to my heart. Currently, there are over 60 Cornellians in SpaceX, including 7 managers and senior managers. In my travels over the past few years as director, I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of alumni who are Cornell red through and through. To the graduates, the next chapter is yours. Nanette Peterson nicely asked many of you your dream jobs. A number of you want to be an astronaut or a rocket scientist. Others want to work in STEM education or helping to solve climate change. Or many said, quote, the job I've taken, which was very nice to hear. One graduate wants to be an international man of mystery, starring in the Scarlett Johansson movies, really putting that engineering degree to good use. I ask you all to please keep striving for your goals and keep in touch with us about your news. The faculty could not be more proud of your accomplishments. While your family has laid the groundwork to get you here, we have hopefully given you a little guidance towards the next steps in your journey. You may have differing opinions of us faculty, and we're happy that you keep some of those to yourself. But we always love to hear about your successes and do so with the pride of the Sibley family. This Friday, we held our final faculty meeting of the year. This meeting typically has only one agenda item, and that is to read and approve the names of each student for graduation, a tradition we have done for years. This is not a required task, but one that the faculty do with pride, the pride of the Sibley family, perhaps similar to your parents, but without the tuition bills. Finally, in the immortal words of Steve Jobs, let me conclude by saying, stay hungry, stay foolish, and do what you love. Thank you very much.